现在我可以 broadcast 了啊 ，go live.
Okay. 2:29. We'll have 1 minute. Welcome everyone. Good to see you. This is the third to the last class of the series of the Chinoiserie class. We are going to broadcast
Hi,
as usual.
I'm Nicole Hockley from Sandy Hook Promise. I know this is
on YouTube. So, Henry, you're starting on YouTube now, right? Are you starting on YouTube, Henry?
Yes. Can you
Yeah.
call? Oh, okay. We can mute all the others. I heard something.
Oh, okay. 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, we are live on YouTube.
Okay, great. Welcome everyone. This is the third to last class of the Chinoiserie class at the Brooklyn Public Library. Thank you for your support in the participating in the class. As usual, the class is being live streamed as well as being recorded. So if you don't want to be visible, please turn off your video camera, and you could change your name also if you don't want to be seen for your name. Here is Henry. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks, Yongle. This class we're going to paint pheasant. It's a upland birds, and in America it's hunted, so you may call it upland game birds. In the category including turkey and peacock. So they are very familiar to us, right? The beak of the bird is like a chicken. I'm doing a tracing using the template I provided in the handout. Am I spotlighted? Let's see. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can see the handout, the page with this image in the handout. I think it's page 6. I can recall. The orientation in the handout is portrait, so you have to maybe print out. I don't know how to show it in PDF viewer. You can turn to the left 90 degrees so you can see or you can just take reference here and use the template, the outline template to provide it to draw. So I'm using a different colored silk paper. It's very thin, backed by a very thin rice paper, so it's translucent still, and you can see through with this light box the template there. I'm going to just draw the key part, maybe the leg and the bill and the eye a little bit, and then we'll just do the coloring directly without tracing. So if you want, you can use whatever method you have to transfer the design onto the surface. You can use sized Shuan, or we also have sized golden Shuan. You know, if you want colored, something like that. You can use white paper, just like this this sample painting. It's a hand painted 侧叶 auburn leaf kind of painting produced in southern China in the mid 19th century by a studio called Tingua. It's a Cantonese pronunciation of the surname Ting. Gua means Mister or something like that. In the Cantonese dialect, maybe just the word Guan or official or something. I don't know exactly what, but they have different studios, and it's all named like someone's surname and the Gua. So there's a Lingua. I think the Tingua is Lingua's brother or something. They learned from a British oil painter in Macau. So in 19th century in China, we see the Cantonese export painting, or what we call the syncretism, or a Chinese version of Western art. It's not exactly Chinoiserie. Chinoiserie mostly is done by designed by the Western artists, imaginative of Chinese, using Chinese technique to paint Chinese sceneries or objects. But in China also we see this trend because the market and the business kind of targeted at Western collectors. So the style is Western. They use watercolors in this case, not any ink, I think. But I think there's a light pencil sketch, maybe not visible. I can show a detailed view if you want to take a look, because the detail is not visible in the handout, I think. Let me see. I think this cannot be done this way. I have to enlarge this window, I think. So if I enlarge this window, okay, here, if I zoom in a little bit, you will see how detailed it is, but we don't have time obviously to do this. Can you see all the lines? That is tedious work, right? I think this is auction, and there's a museum in Massachusetts featuring a collection of Tinghua and other studio art in 19th century, brought back by American merchants. Okay, so they're very vibrant colors. The difference between Chinese and the Western watercolor, in my opinion, is the use of local colors, or the original color of the object. Although they use Western concept of shading, but not like an impressionistic or scientific color theory, not like a contemporary or post-impressionistic Western painting. So okay, if you look at the picture on the in the corner here, you can see a real picture of the bird. It has almost identical color on the real bird, right? So some part is very light. So on this colored paper, I have to use white, maybe a thin layer of white. Try to keep the texture of the silk to start with, and you can start with yellow light on white paper without having adding any white in that. Okay, if I turn off the light, maybe you can see better. And I'm going to use gouache acrylic, because this is more it's proven in our class that works the best without using sizing to fix it. So we don't have to worry. It's re-wet when you paint top layer glazing, it may stir up. But I will try to maybe add a little yellow, so we don't have to do the glazing, just to save a little time. Yeah, just a little bit, maybe a little bit. I think this is just this warm yellow color, whatever I got here, and I think it's equal to Naples yellow. If you have this opaque yellow ready in the tube, you can use uncolored paper. But if you use white paper or silk, whatever, white background, you don't have to use white. Okay, just use a diluted yellow color to do the yellow part, the crest, the crown. What do you call this? So you can use a sharp, you could, yeah, just maybe a small brush or something. Just a flat wash, and you can use a clean, damp brush to pick up the extra moisture. Okay, it's okay if it's a little bigger, you know, and then you cut in with the dark later, I think. Okay, the back is yellow. So maybe I start from this side. It's more red towards the tail, and then become deeper. I don't have to worry about the texture. Just yeah. So I think if we it become kind of a dull with white. I'm not sure if this would really match the vibrancy, but we got to cover the background color first. But maybe we can use dry color, more like a opaque out of tube color to keep to recover the vibrancy, color vibrancy later. So we just want to create a base for that, I think. Okay, and then the reds and the green. Okay, we will use there's a transition on this cape thing. It's yellow to orange and red. So maybe we just do the yellow first. Let's see if we can cover the background color here. I think a little bit white is needed to cover this antique yellow color. I just do a flat wash, and then we'll come back to do the gradation. I wish I can see through here. I have to negatively save that little. Then we use white and then yellow to recover if needed. So that's for the cape, the tippet feather. when it's in mating season, this part fans open like a fan to attract female. The green part under it is the neck. So this part is narrow. This cape part, it's hard, it's open. It's like I don't know how to describe that. You understand? If you look at some videos, you'll see the in action. The chest and the body is just red. You can do the yellow. Let's just do orange color maybe to start with. The light part, upper chest, the side, yeah. I think this color is not going to be as I probably will go with the pastel kind of color here, because this colored background is like gouache painting, more like that. So everything has a little white in it for me. You don't have to do this. This is the highlight part. Let's just and this highlight on the drum kind of, and a little bit there, but it will be more red, and then we'll do the dark in the end. I think this more vermilion color or pale red. You can use scarlet is a primary red color one that you can use that for this part. It would be nice with Mary's colors. So this one I just do a flat wash, and then you can kind of blend in a little bit. Those highlights here, we can just wash it out. That's watercolors always do. Don't want it to bleed. That's we want to control. Okay, don't worry about the light. We can always add yellow, I think. Okay, this part should be lighter. I just use a cream brush just to spread it a little bit to the top. Okay, now the shoulder and wings. The shoulder is a vibrant red. It has some huge, like a crimson in it. So we can add a little more red. Okay, actually I accidentally colored the green neck with a little brown. That's okay. Actually, brown is a good base for green. It's a contrast color, so I just keep in mind that's the neck. All the green neck. Okay, this part is the shoulder. It's a little darker. There's gradation always in Western painting, color and light. Okay, so let's just use more orange color under it. You can use two colors like combined to get this, and then the blue and the bronze. We can just do the brown, or just go red. Then we add blue to make it brown. The vibrant blue with black, that in Chinese would be mineral color. So opaque color will be used on top of dark. I will just color the whole thing maybe with you can use the burnt sienna, I think, for this part. Well, for the light part, we can just take it out with a dry brush. Just to create some highlight. Let me just cover the whole thing with brown. Brown can also be used as base color and the color for the blue. And then another wing on the far side here. I cannot really see a little triangular shape. Okay. Okay, the pattern on the tail is very puzzling for me. Let me see. We can preserve the base color with just some masking fluid. On watercolor paper, you can use that, or you can use any resist size, absorbent paper, I think. I have this masking pen, which is convenient to make those dots. Oops. Let's see if it works. Let's try. Yeah, just yeah. Can you
Sorry to interrupt. You are using the antique gold silk that's backed already, right?
It's the original backing. I didn't mount it yet, so it's kind of because I can see through it. Otherwise, I cannot see because I didn't turn the lights on to show you the true color I'm working. If I size it, I have to keep the backlit. Yeah, you can mount it to avoid the warping, but it's okay. As long as you don't have any extra moisture on the surface after each stroke, it shouldn't be a serious problem with the buckling.
Henry, for the eyes, beaks, and feet, did you use Chinese light ink?
Oh, I just used the marking pen, macro pen,
Sakura micro pen, right?
Yeah, Sakura.
It could be any kind of pen.
It could be water resist, right? Water resist, because it's so small. You can use a brush if you have tiny little brush. Yeah, you can use a brush. It's a detailed brush to do this. You don't have to use the pen, but if you use pen, make sure it's water resist. Yeah, let me see. I have a different size also. This one, I think it's sticker. Yeah, this
right,
is
these pens come in many sizes and many colors. You could
yeah,
get it
this
from
is a
our
black, I
supply
think.
stores.
Yeah, this is a black one. It's like a little different head. Let me see. Let me just try here. Yeah, it's a little bit thicker. I can use this to draw the center vein of the feather.
And Henry, also, what type of white were you using? It was from a squeezable.
Oh, this is the brand. It's called acrylic gouache artist acrylic gouache by Heron. Yeah. That's the brand, acrylic gouache. The advantage of this is it will be permanent without disturbed if you re-wet it on top of this. Okay, so I'm going to draw this line. I have to hold my breath. Yeah, if you use a tiny little brush, you might be able to do this. I don't know if they use any tools like a ruler or some guide. It's kind of challenge to do the line like this. So I think this is like a contour. I don't know. It could be. Doesn't matter really. Okay, but yeah, it is invisible. Okay, I see what it is. So this one is in the middle, and this one is the top line. So that top is soft. Okay, here is the contour of this, and then I cannot really. Oh, here is the other side of the covering tail feather, and then there is a secondary one under it. You don't have to follow exactly because the feather is a very flexible part of the painting, but you have to pay attention on the shape of the silhouette of the tail. I think that's more important. And there's several become smaller and smaller, closer, and tiny. Okay, here we have like a 7 or 6 sword feathers. You can paint it with red, or you can void it. Maybe let me try to paint around it first. If it doesn't work, you can use opaque colors to get them. Okay, just some feather, the brown feather behind, it's kind of tricky to do. So maybe we'll just cover the whole thing. Oh, here's another sword feather behind, and there's a little space between the tail and that feather that creates. There's a leaf overlap with that. These subtle things really create depth and the delicacy of the painting. We may not be able to do the flowers. I'm not going to do the flower. Maybe a little bit ground. This is the grass part. Actually, don't have any contour. So just the rock part, maybe a little bit there. Okay. And just a basic sketch for the composition. This like a lost and found line, just to mark to map the plane. Let's keep working on the tail part. So what are we going to do? The center vein is missing there. Okay, here's another part of the. It should be this thicker. I missed the negative shape space there, so let me just add it on top. Okay, you can use a pen to instead of brush, just to save my your time or my time in the class. I use more pens. But if you use brush, it will be perfectly fine. You can just draw those lines with a liner. Okay, I'm going to do the pattern now. So just put a rounded. Oops, I suppose they're not overlapping, but you can create your own pattern, you know, more naturally. You can have large, small dots. I think I didn't shake it. It's too thin. Shake it. This is also a Japanese product. I think it's a Heron. Is that? Yeah. Heron. Masking ink pen. It's very convenient, so you don't have to ruin your good brush. Kind of too thin. I don't know. Maybe I didn't shake it before when I use it. It's like only the thin one left. But that should work. Okay, if you use just the gouache, you can do this before you do the color, and then when you glaze, the gouache will make the parts lighter as an under painting pattern. So if you use quite on top of the color, it might be too hard, not natural. I've seen people using gouache pen or white pen to draw this pattern after the color is done. Anyway, so I have to wait that, and then I'm going to work on details in the face. So the eye already circled with a pen, but you can use ink to enhance that. The beak is kind of a yellow-brown color. Everything on this paper I have to use a little bit white to show. So I'm going to do the beak. So I didn't get the lower part. I'm going to outline that later. The line could be reinstated, no problem. So, and then the ear is white, and some yellow around that. Just kind of around the ear, and then the covert, right? The red around the eye. It's very vibrant. Let's try not to use white, just keep the vibrancy. Just the transparent color. Let's see, just do the orange color around it, around the eye. I don't see eyebrows, but there's several circles. I'm going to omit those. It's too much detail around the eye. So just to paint some kind of radiate pattern from the like a scaled texture. Anyway, we'll use some darker reds. Well, I wish they shine, but not really. But anyway, it's a different feel. Okay, let's just use the same color here to see if I can change that back color a little bit. Now you can use two brush technique just to pour the color. But before that, let me just add a little yellow, and then I think it's not dry yet. Pretty cool yellow. On the original is like a lemon yellow. I just changed the white into yellow. That's all. Okay, the crown could be just white with a little bit golden color. Yeah, maybe we can just use gold. I'm thinking. Just a touch of golden yellow. In the original, they used a very tiny brush to paint those silky, not we call it fiber kind of texture. I mean feathery texture like that. But now you can see the color was mixed with the back, but we will separate them again with dark in the background. Simply just to make the crown kind of golden yellow. That's the trademark of this species. It's called the golden crown, golden pheasant. Okay, let's just do the second layer on the back with the red. Let's use two brush technique. We can start from the dark part. Actually, it's pretty vibrant. Just a pale red or some. Just use it medium, and then we'll do the dark the last. I'll start from this middle part. And then add a little more dark on this. This side should be deeper, I think. Oops, I think my brush is too big. To blot it. I think the idea of this painting should be done with multiple layers and even, to keep it even. That's the challenge with the time, short period of time. So just gradient wash. Yeah, I'll deal with that accident later after it dries. I can go back and touch up again. And let's draw this neck with a black pen. They're scaled like a fish. I think it's pretty narrow here to underneath the cape. And it gets a little bit bigger. Yeah, just think it, like the water pattern or fish scale pattern, the carp fish, if you know what I'm talking about, the carp scale, same kind of pattern, I think. And
Henry?
Yes.
Can you zoom in
Uh-huh.
so people can see the detail of your painting? Thank you. And move it higher, please, so the feet can also be visible.
Okay. So this part, on the original, it has like a radiate lines, from the center of this scale. It's something like that. I'm not sure if this will work, but let's try. I just use my pen to draw this pattern and this texture, because I know the opaque green or opaque blue will cover everything. So the end of the each scale is darker. And you should leave a little. Make sure the white, don't sacrifice the white part to paint those texture. Okay. Yeah, there are patterns on all these things, but let me just do a little bit suggestively. So there's covering feather there. The whole shoulder has a lot of scale like that. We don't have to do all. I think let's just try. When you start something, it's kind of you cannot stop simply. You have to disperse it. Maybe I just do some in the shady part and some here. You draw this flying feathers. So I just look at the sample without looking at the end painting to draw this. So there's a secondary feather here that goes like that under each other all the way here. There's a soft line because there's some feather covering the edge, softening edge here, so you don't have to paint the hard line there. And here there's the primary feather. The birds are not flyers, but they can fly onto tree trunks or something like that. So their wings are not developed like a crane or other birds. Relatively small, but they ran fast. I think the legs are pretty long and strong. I just make those hatching lines. Let's see. I didn't see them in the small view. When I enlarge it, I can see those hatching lines. Just like sketching with watercolor, but I'm just using the pen to. Oh, I accidentally touched those still drying masking. All right, let's see. This fish scales will take a lot of time, so we can just simplify it. I'll just use dark red covering that to kind of grade it a little bit. And you can maybe use a color to. Dry brush sometimes can suggest detail, but this kind of decorative painting really don't like dry brush, as we do with freestyle painting. So if we have time, we should just meditate on paper more, just to do the scales one by one. It will be the best. So let me just cover all that. I'll leave some highlight to show the texture. That's it. Okay, I want to make this shady part a little darker, so I use rouge or crimson color. And here, and use water to spread it. Not water, damp brush to pull it, to soften it. I think we better use pure color, but I think this might be too muddy. Don't have to be too dark, I think, just to show the lighting or the shading effect. I'll put some paper here. My west, palm sweat is to be avoided on this silk. When you paint on silk, it's very sensitive to oil, so you want to do this. Put your hand on a piece of waxing paper or something like that. You can just use a broken brush. Just to add a little hairy feather. the underside of the belly and the butt. Here is the leg. So you want to leave some highlight, but without using any inner contour, just the highlight. And see, this is the shady part that squeezes out, fire out the muscle of the leg, the thigh. Okay. The leg, it should have this spur, because there are 5 virtues according to the inscription on the Emperor Huizong's Song Dynasty Huizong's painting that mentioned the 5 virtues. One of these virtue is the feature of the spur on the leg, upper leg, and right there, I think, just like a rooster, fighting to weapon. Okay, and the crown is like a civilized or literal symbol.
Henry,
Yes.
could you move the paper further up to show the feet and tail or something?
Yeah. Yeah, the spur I just added is a little triangle. If you look at the original, it has a little bit the spur. Yeah. So this part is missing. Let me cover it with the white first, and then we'll color it again. It should be gold. It's kind of hard to paint on this color. Color appears different. Anyway, so the tail is drying out. I would do the leg is the claw is yellow. You can just color it. You can use light yellow to start with, and then we use brown color to do the texture, the bone, the skin. Okay, just the light yellow. Okay, this tail is actually yellow also on this, so we'll just use yellow ochre, maybe a little burnt sienna. You can do the graded wash first if you want, and then just glaze with the light yellow. After we remove the, I'm not sure if no, yeah, the masking preserved the background, and it should be lighter even. I'm not sure how can we get it. Okay, and to make it simple, you can just cover the whole thing with yellow, and then add darks like a watercolor will do. yellow, and I muted with a little bit umber or just yellow ochre. Burnt sienna. Okay, the little tail. I just paint through this sword, red sword. You can use white, red later to paint over it. So watercolor, in principle, they paint from light to dark. So the yellow always comes first, and then red, and blue. Okay, and I just blend a little bit here to soften that. I just add a brown to the line I draw, so to make it hidden. I just paint some brown on top of it, just like highlighted. Some burnt sienna, maybe also in the middle line, like that. So it's not black. And then on one side, you can do the graded wash if you want to pull the color to the other side. How to, whenever possible, they would create a gradation to show the light, the illusion of light and the shadow. So leave a little light. Okay, to show those dots, I think we just have to add more color. I tend to use more color than the Chinese studio artists would do. Anyway, that's the tail part. Okay, let's wait it dry a little bit to do the red feather. Let's keep working on this wing. The blue color we can add more. Just on top of the brown, you can use I'm using any darker, like a burnt, like a cello or ultra or Persian, whatever you have. Just a deep color for that. It's almost like black. Yeah, let's just do that, and then we'll use maybe mineral Chinese color to highlight it. So as a base, I think I'm fine with this. That's the blue wings here. And there is some kind of transitional part. You can have some purple in between the red and the the blues. And there's a shady part on each feather. I will just omit that. Maybe we can make either top or the bottom a little darker and then gradate it. The whole section I'm talking about. So this section has this feather, primary feather. We need to at least create some kind of shading under each feather, like that, to show that we are doing Western. For Western audience, they are looking for this kind of light effect. And you can even put some cool colors under the, like a shading in this section. To separate some feathers. Okay, here is the green. We already have the brown base. That's good. So we're going to, you can do just a flat green color. If you have this still from the previous class, the mineral greens like I have here, you can use this mineral green plus some yellow, some. I think we did the background on the which was that? Oh, the crane, right? So you can use this. I just do like a flat wash. And just to show through some. Just use a dry damp brush to take out some, so it will be translucent. Go slow. You can accumulate several washes. Don't try to paint too thick; it will cover up everything. So you can do a even and translucent wash. Then we'll do another graded wash with a tiny little brush if you want to make it a shady effect on each scale if needed. Okay, so I think I got bronze on this. That's the only green part in the natural bird, right? So okay, in the process, the line could be covered, and then if you need, you can reinstate it in the end. It goes always like this. All right, let me see what else we can do. So this detail, I just use pen to reinstate this line in the middle of the beak and the nostril. I know there are a lot of details you cannot really copy. There's white in the eye. Let me try to get in with a tiny little brush or just pointed brush. My gouache is dry. you might just cover the whole scene and then do the pupil later again with black if you cannot get the circle. It's really hard to. Let me just add a little yellow. Okay. And just a little bit, lot of details on the. You can do each section, you know, because this painting might be much bigger than what I'm doing. So remember we did the crane the same way. So you can use a little bit of blue if you want to do the nail. And there's highlight on everything, I know, but we cannot really see them. Just to have some variation. There's a shadow under the claw, the feet. That's a cast shadow, believe it or not. And you can do a cast shadow on this rock. The rock is outlined maybe a little bit with brown, or I see a lot of blue here. Not ink, because it's a watercolor. Western style watercolor. But you can see the rock formation is very Chinese, right? The way they shaped the rock, but the formation is more natural than traditional landscape painting, I think. But you can still see the principle of large surround small, or small surround large.
Hi, Henry.
Yeah. Oh,
We
you
need
cannot
to see
really
the rock also, so please move up.
Okay, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, that's the challenge.
Maybe zooming even more if possible. The head, the top of the paper might not necessarily need to be.
Yeah, I'm not going to paint the flower yet. Just
okay.
Yeah, we'll move around. Okay. So I'm just drawing this contours, and we'll do the shading later. And just to separate the big planes with some kind of contour drawing. And this is very Chinese landscape kind of. And you can use brown, or alternatively with green or blue. I see lots of horizontal strokes, texture strokes for the ground. I try to get the 3D effect of this piece using, you know, whatever Western concept. It's a good idea. Okay, let's just do dry brush. There's big slope there. And some grass and okay, let's just what time is? Okay, we have to keep working on the bird, I think. I'm waiting this to dry. I think now it's dry. We're going to do the pattern. We can zoom in a little bit. I'll zoom back later. Okay, I want to show you the pattern on this cape. I've seen different versions. This is a pretty realistic rendition. This is parallel lines. Although it's kind of difficult to get this line. You can use the like I can use the pen instead of the brush to do all this. Let me enlarge the original so you can see what I'm talking about. Here, you see that? See the delicate lines on the neck, and there are different versions of different paintings. Sometimes it comes more abstract. It's like squarish. Okay, but I will just follow this painting. I'm just using this 7 Wolf 3-sheet brush. I will use. Let's just get a dark with ultramarine and maybe a little bit ultraviolet. I think it's a crimson. Yeah. It's a crimson. That's all. Let's get a dark purple actually. Bluish. Because we already got yellow and red, it will become dark. Okay, so we just try to think the shape as like a cape. So the line work itself can indicate perspective, plane change, or I see a darker line with more waving pattern, and then a narrow line on top of that. It's lost and found. That's so there's basically stripes, right? And you can omit the 2, just do 1 maybe. Let me just do 1. Make it thicker, easier. But on this top part, it's become narrower to create a kind of illusion of turning. And this goes behind the crest, negatively paint this shape actually, and then goes on this side. I just do a curve and then maybe a lost and found curve could be. Okay. And this dark line should break that edge, but not sticking out. This is from like the what's the animal? The African animal zebra kind of. Okay, and let's see. This part is very shady. And the under part of each feather, it's kind of hard to get on my scale of painting. You can change maybe just some lines indicate the. And if we want to have some highlight, we can use just like a turquoise here. Turquoise is an opaque color. Turquoise. Here. Very thick turquoise to paint on the lower part of the feather. And, I'm not sure if we can soften that transition, or it's too small to get all this. Just a little bit suggestion. Okay, the green color, we need to bring back some dark green, so you can use the first grade. I got Viridian here is equals to dark green, I think. You can mix with turquoise maybe, or you can use turquoise and yellow to get a stronger dark green, and just create this, recreate this. The fan shape is kind of hard for me to get. Maybe I just draw this in scales again. Just use dark. If ever possible, you can paint life size, like the birds. It will be a big paper, right? Maybe I'd go back with a pen to draw those lines. So now we'll just do a little bit of variation in the green. Okay, time to remove this. Maybe we can see how it works. Remove the round dots. Yeah, that looks pretty subtle and nice. The masking pen worked pretty well. This is called cement eraser, right? Someone told me last time. It's designed for remove the masking fluid when it's dry. Okay, you can draw this sword, the red feather around the beginning of the tail. It's kind of dark, similar to this body color, I think. Okay, so we just draw. There's still gradation, but I just with a flat first, and then we see if there's line already I draw with the ink. Okay, it's kind of hard to paint the gradation in small scale like that. Maybe on the underside with a little dark, create the illusion of shadow. One, two, three. I think I missed one. 1, 2, 3. Five. That's okay. Okay. And this one on the other side. Okay. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole tail with white. If you want to enhance the color, we can just do a glazing with brown, light brown and yellow, maybe a little bit yellow to see. It will make it a little subtle, so you paint overall with one color because the underpainting is different, so it will show still as different with pattern, and it will unify it. So this wash is also known as unified wash to bring them together. You can call it glazing in general, but glazing could change the hue. Unified wash unify the hue or the tone, the whole area, and unify can also go with a different color under it. Just create a color of the light or something. Okay. The beak is a little bit yellow. Under it, this is too white, and maybe a little bit warmer here. And leave a little highlight on top. Maybe that's it. And you can draw these lines like hair on the crest a little bit, and here on the tail. If you have time, you can always if you draw this, make sure it's tiny little brush. I'll just add a few of that. Oops. Okay, that's basically the bird. You can paint the eye circle or the black pupil with a more definition. Okay. Let's see the background. Let me just do it in freehand painting, like one stroke painting. Okay, so for the little chrysanthemum, you can dot the white later. We'll just do the center with the brown, not brown, greenish base, like whatever gray you got. Just do an oval shape center with that oval shape with perspective. This a little bit flat, right? And just a brown green kind of olive color, and then we use white plus turquoise, maybe a little bit whatever color the green. You can just use the opaque blue color if you have, just to do this petals. And I see one side is more it's lighter. I don't mind, just let it. You can start with the light, and then we use dark edge. So I just paint directly without any outline. Okay, and then the leaf is kind of olive. You can add just a little yellow or brown to change this color to green. The chrysanthemum leaves has notches, right? So, oops, there's little flower I missed here. Anyway, I just paint like a freehand painting. It should be a little darker. You can use ready, like a sap green or whatever to start with. It's an advantage in Western painting. They have the mixed, ready-made greens to use. You don't have to mix it. We'll just use I mix brown with sap green or viridian or something. I want to cover it. It's kind of pastelish right now. Okay, oh, got some water there. Flowers. Okay, these are leaves, I think. These are kind of just some kind of flower. It combines the features of peony and rose. Doesn't matter. Really, it's decorative. So just consider it as a rose. I think there's thorns on the bottom here, so you want to think of them as a rose. But there might be a branch of peony. I'm not sure. This is looks like peony leaf here. The peony leaves has three sections on each stem. I try to keep it decorative, so it's not too freestyle. The leaves become larger around this peony flower. Since you have the design, so you can do the leaves first. And normally I would do the flowers first, right? Just whatever. Okay, let's just do the flowers. I cannot really see. Let me turn on this template light. And you can see the whole thing. Okay. Let's see if we just do the flowers in 写意 or one-stroke approach. It's kind of hard because this paper may not keep the gradation. So you want to, the original painting has the graded wash with the double brush, the chopstick method. I'll just paint with one brush stroke, see if it gets there. Freehand. Okay, I like the idea here. You got a light part on the left or on top, and then you have the shady part on this side. And under, oops. That's okay. I think the flower could cover. By the way, the later development of this Cantonese school, called the Ningnan school, the Southern China school, they use a technique called dripping. I mentioned earlier in one of the lessons. So they drip water or white water on one side of the petal to create the lighting. Not yet in this time, the sample painting yet, but we can jump forward to the later contemporary. Actually, the Cantonese school is still doing this. It started in mid-19th century. Yeah, you have to leave a little space if you want to avoid smearing. That's called the waterline. Everything has a name in Gongbi painting. There's a long list of special terminology. We have a class lesson 12 before. You can check Gongbi techniques. I try to squeeze out the sword feather. Okay. after you paint this style and then you go back to freestyle, you release your energy. You accumulate energy while doing the Gongbi or the elaborated detail style. So you can practice both on the same day. In the end of the day, you can do some freestyle, and I'm sure you will be very you will see the difference. Oops, I think I'm kind of lost here. What I'm doing. There's another flower we need to worry about. It's a half bloom, so we just do the outer petals light, and then add a little bit dark in the center. Effectively, they're rose. Okay. And then the sepals is yellowish. Patternized. And some leaves. These leaves are really not rose. Who cares, right? They're looking for exotic birds and plants for tourists to. So these are collected by tourism, by foreign tourists. They try to collect those. They like to collect those foreign exotic plants. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't look like anything. We know. Okay, the bottom has a little bit browny stems. And then some grass, dry grass. Just like any orchid, but this is like a wild weed. What do you call the wheat or something with some seeds on that. Indicated the season is autumn or something. There's some orange colored leaves also. Some tender leaves on this. Okay. The rock, as I mentioned in the keynote, symbolize sounds the same as a room. Rock 石 sounds like a living room. 是 different tone. So 石 as a bird, a rooster standing on a rock is the omen, a good auspicious omen. Sounds like auspice in your room. We don't have to do this grass, just cover the rock. Maybe we can dot a little bit mouse dots. That's it. And some purplish stones here. I try to get the 3D, but not really. You can make it really pop if you have time to do the color. Just keep shading it, you know. Oops. Wet into wet. It's okay. So this part is shady. There's a like a trail or something on this corner. Maybe you can put on this corner. And put a little bit grass in there. Just a little grass. Lots of dots, like moss dots. Moss dots, yeah. Lichen or moss. Usually in traditional painting it's black. I'll just do a little bit of green wash on top to suggest the grass. And you can do more if you like. Okay, let's see. I'll just do the trail with a little bit umber. It's burnt sienna, actually pretty red. On this corner. What do you do on this corner? Okay, more yellow. I just finished with red, blue. Actually, not blue. This middle color. Well, this paper is not mounted, so you can see. It pops, it whirlpools, so we can mount it if we want to flat it. We need to flat it horizontally. There's some edges here. I see a little bit like a shady part. Limited by time, I think we can only do this much. If you have time, you can certainly, do all the details. Oh, I forgot one last thing is the little round yellow or just a white, light yellow maybe, white yellow in the center of this. You want to fully load the brush with the yellow and the white, and then dot this. And then we can add a dark on the petal also, just define it. It's a little chrysanthemum, white chrysanthemum. Maybe at the end of the petal. Okay, and you can add the half bloom one. What's that? Should be here. Anyway, like side view one. I forgot the little stems. You can use brown, a bit of white to cover it. Oops, too light.
Hi, Henry.
Yeah, okay.
We have about 13 minutes left. not to rush you.
I see.
When you are done with this picture, could you display it so that the participant can take a picture? A lot of people would like to do that. It's very beautiful.
Okay, thank you. Let me turn
And
off
then when you're
this light.
done, so maybe we could look at participants painting to critique also.
Yeah, let me take away the original from the view.
Thank you.
Okay, then I will zoom in a bit. I think I better mount it just to flatten it. It looks better. You can use a darker blue or green color to add a suggestion of leaf veins. Just to add some definition, depth to that. I will leave this little young leaves there. Okay. Yeah, I think the base could be a little darker. Let me just wash it. Oops, it's kind of hard to just dot it around the base. A little bit dark, so let's squeeze out the center a little bit more, a little bit like that. Let me see. We could have a little bit grass kind of in front of the. I see, in front of the trail or something. That make it more natural. Hidden here, we have some grass on the rock also. And there's a lot of grass. I know if we have time, we can do all that all day. So just to give a suggestion. All right, I'm going to sign, like I said, we write the 4 characters in Chinese is 时尚大气. I think I have to use black. That's the only place I will use. I'll just dip into this bottle here. Okay, we can write on this corner here, or maybe lower. So you don't want to be the same height as the bird. Right? Maybe somewhere here. It's very easy to write these 4 characters. Stone. Okay. Top. Big. Oh, great. Auspice. Okay, and I'll just sign. Okay, and don't forget the seal. Yes. You can put on the side of the name. In this case, if I put under it, it will be tangent to the tail, to tip, right? So I just put on the side. You can put on this side also if you want. I think it maybe, or just write it on the. I think it's better here. Here, closer to the calligraphy. Yeah, that's it. So on antique colored silk, it's like this. Okay, I'll just omit that. I was thinking to restate the line because some lines are really dark, and on the original I have the ink. Maybe we can just do one to separate the. Okay. So the eye good enough. Whoops, I think I have to use white to bring back the highlight. It's too small to work with. Just a hair of that is highlight. Let me show you. Okay. If you want to take a picture, you can take it now if you want, but it would be perfect if I mount it. So this is the template. Without a template, this, and I have the mountain paper somewhere here. Let me see. I'll just let you take a picture here because it will take a 5 minutes to mount it maybe. And I may have some final touch after that. I will show you the social network later, but I think that's 95% done or 100% already signed. Usually I don't touch it after this, but just a little bit, maybe, you know, you can still touch up without messing anything up. Let me see if anybody want to show us the progress. Okay, Zoom. I'm not seeing anybody there. Okay.
I'd be glad to show.
Okay, Jennifer.
Yes. Okay. Can you screenshot me?
Okay.
All right. This is from last week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see if we can put on the. Okay, here we go. Yeah, very good. I like the color of the wisteria. The stem, the vine could be a little lighter, different color than from the bird. The bird could be a little bit more colorful than black.
Well, you know, I was trying to get it darker, but I couldn't figure out.
Oh.
It's really brown.
Yeah, you can use contrasting colors instead of different darkness. You can use green or blue and red.
Okay.
All those colors should be good enough.
Okay. And then this is what I did today. I had already kind of decided to do this one.
I see. Yeah, that's good one. I have 3 templates. You can choose between those.
Yeah.
Among those. Yeah, I like the pattern you got on the tail and the fish scale. All looks great.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you did
someone was asking what was the bird. The last class was the
last class bird. I have no idea. It's just a sunbird.
Okay.
There are 6 categories, not including hummingbirds. So there are upper land birds that we're doing today, sunbirds, including all the birds like sparrows, and then the eagle kind of birds, and then the water birds, duck kind of birds. Yeah, that's about it. And
Shirley.
and hummingbirds.
Shirley Lin, you have work to show, but your camera is stuck, I think.
Oh yeah, maybe you need to restart the camera. Oh, okay. Now we have. Okay.
You have to back up a little bit.
Yeah. This is one of the Gongbi painting sample in the handout. I know. You simplified that. That's great. And the magnolia on top with the peony, or that's nice. Yeah, just finish up the background. I think you got a very nice painting. The sword tail and between the it might be a little bit stiff. You can check the to make the curve maybe a little bit natural. The swords, the red tail part could be a little curvy or something. It's too straight, a little bit too straight, like a triangle-ish. Yeah, it could be a little bit curvy, I think, naturally. Yeah, the golden colors on the body is nice. I wish the crest could be a little vibrant, like the body color, but it's kind of hard on the white paper. Yeah, you probably just have to color the background or something to show the yellow and that's better. But to look at, Okay, maybe the picture looks fake. Yeah, very good.
I'm using cheap Bristol board.
The watercolor paper you're using?
No, it's Bristol board.
Oh, Bristol board.
It's very inexpensive paper.
Yeah,
it's like a cardstock, it's called.
Yeah, I know.
I'm using inexpensive paper.
Okay, for
so
practice it's okay, but if you really want if you really want to spend time, you use good paper, authentic watercolor paper would be good. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I will.
Yeah, you can use this as a design, you know, for your final work. So that's good. Yeah. Very good.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next person. Okay, we have a bird coming here. Okay. Barbara, is that? Okay.
Hi, Henry.
Hi. Did you do it all today?
Jan.
Very nice. Very good. Yeah, I like the feather on the tail, the wings, the head. Very nice. I like the colors. Yeah, very nice composition. Just the nail of the feet maybe too long. Unlike the eagles, they should be not so long.
They look like a dragon.
Yeah, you try to cut the tail. I mean the nail down a little bit. Yeah, I like the expression on the face. Very nice. The cape is very good. Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all for other. Okay, someone have a nice finished crayon to show us. I really like the color background.
Henry.
Yeah. Yes, Belle, right? Pia, what's your name?
Pia.
Pia. Okay. Very nice. Very good. I like the color, the subtle colors. You got even the clouds. Very good. The golden sun with baby bird. Very nice. Very family kind of. It will be good at wallpaper design for sure. I like the pine branches on top. If you like, maybe a little bit reinstate of the bird's neck and head or something, just to have more definition. Just the stark.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Can you say that again?
I'm not sure if you finished though. Yeah, if you want to add reinstate the eye, the features in the face, and maybe beak or something. More a little bit definitive would be better with the facial, the heads, the birds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it doesn't face. Maybe because the lighting, we're seeing like a faded.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at the real picture, it may be better.
Maybe.
I see. Yeah. So don't do anything if you think it's because the lighting on the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you. Bye bye. Let me see if any others we can share. Anybody want to share work in progress or something? If not, we'll see you next time to do a landscape in Chinoiserie, imaginative Chinese landscape. And then for the last class, I'd like to ask you if you could help, to find your in your home any Chinoiserie inspired or designed furniture or fabric or wallpaper, whatever, or if you not, you can find something that has a vase maybe with the Chinoiserie patterns, like blue and white vase. Then we will do maybe a flower in the vase. Because next week in my Western master study class, I will study Matisse Fauvism, Fauvist painting of a Chinoiserie vase with a flower. I think it might be a good subject matter if you don't have anything else to suggest. Okay, just we'll talk about this more next time. So we still have 2 weeks to do the last class. So that's all for today.
Henry?
Yeah.
I would like to say thank you so much for this class. This is just an amazing class. I have enjoyed it so much so far.
Thank you, Jennifer. I think you have done wonderful work. Thank you to say that. I really appreciate, and I'm looking forward to do more with through the library. Thank you, Yongle.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you, participants, for being with us through the past 2 years. We started with a series of Zoom classes during the pandemic, the memories of home during the pandemic, and then we continue with Henry's Asian brush painting class. Then we have some special events for the Lunar New Year, the Autumn Moon Festival, and then we diverge into fusion watercolor painting, combining Eastern and Western techniques. Now we are going back to the Chinoiserie style, the Western ways, adaptation of the Chinese brush painting. I think there is one area we have not touched, which is the real old-fashioned Gongbi painting style, which is almost like Chinoiserie, but more traditional. I think it would make sense to go that direction in the future. Let me know if you are supportive of that. Email me, or you have other ideas. We did touch the childlike painting style of the Qibaici a while back, and we touched landscape, we touched flower and birds, insects. So that is something that logically I'm thinking that we should explore. But we do need to take a break. Summer is coming, and our new fiscal year starts July 1st. Typically, we do not know how much funding we will get until much later into the fiscal year. So that's another reason that we'll take a break on these programming. If there are participants out there who know foundations or private individuals who are interested in sponsoring new programs with the library and with Henry, please also let me know. We would love to be supported by generous funders. Thank you so much for being with us, and we will see each other again next week. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Yongle. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Yongle.
Bye-bye.
Thank
you.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody on YouTube, I'm going to mount this painting before I end the streaming, so you can still stay if you want. I already have some material, I think, so it shouldn't take too long. Okay, I found one. So this backing paper is already laminated with silicone dry mounting paper. So I'm going to plug in the iron for this. All right. So release the silicone. So now the painting is facing up on top of the backing paper with the silicone side in between. Okay, the silicone film. Because the paper is still a little bit damp, I think maybe we don't have to spray water, but to get the perfect result, it's always a good idea to have a little bit mist of water. Just like you iron a fabric, a shirt, it will help to relax the painting a little bit. Okay, so let me just give it a little bit spray, but you don't want to spray anything on the table itself. I spray outside the area I'm working with. Okay, that's it. And I put back the release paper. I just pull out, and then to protect the painting from dust. My iron is pretty dirty. I know that because I use it when I paint here. I got paints on it maybe. So just iron gently. You don't have to press that much. Oops. See, that's perfectly flat, right? Those bubbles are gone. Not bubbles, those waves with crinkles. And you want to maybe also iron the back side. Oops, you can see the color with water, it smears. That's very common with the Western color. If I use the Marie's Chinese color, it won't happen. And I have to go back to retouch it. And this time, make sure you don't spray water for. This is a lesson. You don't want to spread water on Western watercolor because it will smear. That's the problem. All right. So I will touch up a little bit just to, but sometimes it creates some happy accident. But you want to if you want to control, you want to omit that step. This water, you don't have to spread water. And I'll just add a little shading here. Actually, it shows the original drawing. I like it actually. You can paint those scales just to reinstate we call it 醒, awakening. Highlight or something like that. Okay. Thank you. That's the final painting after mounting. Zoom in a little bit. Oops. See you next week. Bye bye, everybody.